Yeah, I was just sick of looking like Tom Hanks and just screaming at every volleyball I ever saw. So yeah, off the had to come.
Word. So yeah. Anyhow, this is Jody with the Whiskey. Man, you guys are Looney Tunes. Whiskey Rebellion Barcast. Hey, this is our world. We're gonna have some fun tonight, guys. Everybody, welcome to the show. Cheers to y'all. So cheers. David called this one. He was like, sent me a text. He's like, hey, let's do daily sippers. I'm like, I don't like that term. I really don't. I don't like
the idea that we drink every day.
Well,
it just doesn't sound right, does
that's not me, but there are people that do. And yeah, Billy's probably making something right this second where he's drinking.
Also drinking, yeah. And he started at 8 a.m.
Yeah. He's, every time he posts something, he's like, "Well, I didn't start until like 8 o'clock." I'm like, or what he says? Yeah, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock here. And so he posts it, and I'm like, "Do you realize you're having a cigar, like a heart attack breakfast?"
Yeah, really.
and also a bourbon or scotch all at the same time. How is that even like,
and I love his I wish he was here because I know we're here talking about he had the best response in the world. Says, well, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. I mean, it's just
absolutely. Yeah.
See, I said it to my mother when we were down at the beach.
I will drink to
that. She was like, you think it might be a little early to start? I'm like, the kids are not even up yet. Like, I think this is a great time to start. Like, it's noon.
It is the perfect time to start.
When I'm on vacation, I feel like I've messed up if I don't start drinking before noon. Like, it's a deadline.
If I'm heading down to the beach noon, and I have one of those little, like little tumblers, the little short tumblers that you use to put liquids in to go to the beach, I have my water bottle. So I'm going to carry this everywhere. Why not just go ahead and carry a little tumbler full of some good stuff, so I don't have to come back up in a little bit.
Thanks, yeah.
And it holds your ice.
So does Bailey's count?
Does Bailey's?
Yeah. And coffee?
That's a little. That's way early. You're starting at like Jack Frost. Like he sent me a video one time where he was like, it had to be 6:30 in the morning where he's at, and he's making coffee and pouring Bailey's and something else into it all at the same time. Now, the only time I've ever done that was the wife and I were up in Banff, and they had some adult chocolate, what are they called? Hot chocolates.
Hot chocolate, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. And they were.
I was just going to say Bailey's and hot chocolate with fresh cream and the squirty cream on top. Awesome. Mark, have you ever? Are you aware of an Italian liqueur called Galliano?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
My dad keeps a bottle.
That in coffee is awesome, dude.
I bet that acts like a creamer.
Better than Bailey's.
Huh.
That'd be really good.
I haven't tried it. My dad had it. I'll have to try it. He keeps a bottle of it. He's, like Campari and all those.
Yeah. I've got those at the back there for cocktails. I don't currently have Galliano, but Galliano coffee, man. Oh, honestly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hey, did you guys see I made an American Irish coffee the other day?
I seen that. American Irish coffee. I was like, wow, I don't think that's a thing, but okay.
It is now. What would you put in it? I didn't see the post.
I did Bailey, Jameson's Black, and creme de menthe.
I tell you what,
with whipped cream.
With freaking Jameson's Black.
Any coffee in there?
Yeah, there was a little coffee in it too.
The Black Barrel.
Yeah, the Jameson Black Barrel is freaking fantastic. That is for definitely the price point. I think it's like, I don't know what I'm pretty sure it's like $25-$30 or less here in the state of Tennessee. And it's not a high proof. It's not a high proof, but you can definitely taste the what were we gonna say?
I was gonna say it's hard to quantify exactly, but like side by side to regular Jameson, it's just like way more refined, and like it may be like $1 or $2 more than regular Jameson, which I generally don't care for. But yeah, the Black Barrel is like they need to just get rid of regular Jameson and call Black Barrel Jameson. Like,
it's black.
It would be there. Maybe that's the difference. All right,
once you go black,
Yeah, it's true. I will never go back.
What to say?
I was just trying to help Mark out because I knew it was coming next. So. Anyway, hey, look, let's get back on topic here. Sure. So, because that lasted all 2.5 seconds, I introduced it, and then we went completely squirrel moment.
Well, we were talking about, being alcoholics, talking about being a daily sipper in the first place, right? So,
well, we can use the example of daily sipper, and that would be like Rob last week on Wednesday. Who if people who are watching the show, who all thought Rob was going to fall down when he stood up?
Every time.
I watched that and I was like,
and Rob was completely sober.
No, that's not true. You are not completely sober.
I actually had a £10 bet with myself that you were going to fall over. I lost, but it was fun.
If that would have happened, that would have been the intro to every show.
Absolutely.
Rob, that is the famous line of really drunk girls in college. I'm completely sober. Like that's my last memory of somebody who was fall down drunk insisting to me that they were completely sober. That was a fun night, by the way. But we should move on from that. Daily sippers.
Yeah. So for me, if I had to have a daily sipper, I like, as all you guys know, I'm a Blanton's guy. Kind of a Blanton's fanboy, more towards the 105 Gold Top and the Straight from the Barrel, of course. But if I had to pick something that was just a low proof, regular old, straight Blanton's, and I actually prefer it neat, and I've always liked the taste of it. It's got a great expression when it enters into the palate, and I like the heat that it initially has, though I think it's only a 92 proof. Is that right? 93 proof. So it's not very hot by any means, but it has enough heat, definitely take it neat, that that you get all the expressions of the vanilla, the warm vanilla, brown sugar, and in my opinion, you get a lot of vanilla and then the oak.
Caramel.
Caramel. Thank you. I knew I was missing like a warm caramel. So yes. So I really dig it. That if I had to pick one to be like, hey, you had to have a drink every day. Not like you don't like you're giving up everything else, just that you could have a drink every day. That would be the one I would probably take. So that's the reason why I chose that tonight. David, what about you?
To be able to choose that as far as availability was concerned.
Yeah, that's sort of it's a big part of my calculus in terms of like I don't want to have a daily sipper that when we talked about on Wednesday, like that I have gotten a hold of, and I know you said you'd sell me a bottle or whatever, but like have of my own recognizance gotten a hold of one bottle ever my entire life. Like that guy's not going to be a daily sipper for me. Like,
see, it used to be, it is a different situation for me because I do have a hookup where I buy by the case. But if I, prior to this year, to be honest with you, if I had to say, what would be your daily sipper if you had to pick one, like twist my arm, I would have taken probably Eagle Rare, to be honest with you. However, this year it's become its namesake, rare to find, only because it has, in my opinion, it has it's the perfect. I actually think Eagle Rare is not, I don't want to claim that it's at the level of some of the, the forbidden fruits that are out there that are hard to find, but but as something that was generally readily accessible, the best bourbon on the market, in my opinion. Aged perfectly, 10 years, nice, warm taste. Nice, and the price point generally was always right there. MSRP. $40, $49 if you go to somebody that's trying to upsell you. But not nothing bad. Now you'll be lucky if you can find it for $80 here in Tennessee, if you find it at all. So, which is ridiculous. And that's one of the things I was going to say about the idea behind a daily sipper. I want to be able to go to the store. I want to be able to get it. And if I want to knock down half the bottle that night, which is, that's not really daily sipper territory. That's more like, commiserating life or celebrating whatever. Like, and I won't feel like I've made some awful mistake. Like I just, drank half of my smoke wagon or something like that. And I'm like, oh no, what did I do? Like, you don't want to have that experience. Right. So for me, like, it's something I'll be able to find everywhere, and something, again, really $40. I don't want to go over that on a daily sipper. So for me, the two things that I keep going back to reliably, basically, like over the years, and then also more recently, one's a rum that I posted, I think, on the group the other day, was the Diplomatico Anniversario. You can get it. You used to be able to get it like low 30s. Now most places it's like upper 30s, maybe $40, 42, 43. I've seen some places, but like
it is a fantastic rum, and the glass will just keep refilling itself if you let it. It's so smooth. It goes down nice. And I was like, I did a bottle kill the other. I was like, I don't even know how I did that. Because
I can teach you that. We talked about that in elementary school, how that occurs. But anyway, no, I think you bring up a fascinating aspect. It doesn't have to be. I mean, it doesn't have to be bourbon. That's what I'm an enthusiast of. But I will tell you, for price point, if you were to look at price point and availability, Mount Gay every time. If I had to have the XO, I mean, I think it's $50.
I paid, I think 64 at Cool Springs. Most places I've seen it for 60.
I've never seen it that high. I don't think I've ever paid over $50. My boy.
Oh man. Okay, we got to talk after the show.
I've never paid that much.
Which Afra is the one for me. But go ahead.
But what I was going to say is that brings up a very interesting aspect as well, is where you're located. Like you had mentioned, Smoke Wagon. Like for example, you're not gonna drink that as a daily drinker. However, if I lived where Mark lives in Arizona, or if I lived in Vegas, I'm willing to bet that is somebody's daily drinker, because they can get that we could drive down the store and get, like Wild Turkey or Jack Daniels or whatever at whim, or Evan Williams 101. I bet Mark can find it every single time he wants to.
You got it delivered like milk, dude.
It's actually starting to get scarce, but I have my one spot that I can still get it for now. So,
well, good deal. I was gonna say my other one, the daily sipper for me, and again, because you can get it everywhere, and you can get it usually for $34-$35. Long Branch. This is nice. I'm drinking Daddy Rack. I'll hold this one up too. I'm drinking Daddy Rack, and really by comparison, I think the Long Branch is better. I like the Daddy Rack, but just the Long Branch, it just has like this mesquite smoky thing on the end of it that stays with you pleasantly. And it's something I can just sip on. I can get it anywhere. And it's not expensive. And it's a nice one to sit if you were going to have a daily sipper kind of thing, that alcoholism aside, but that's where I would be at, Billy, what's up? How you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? First of all, let me apologize for my tardiness, but business is business.
And, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Brisket is getting to be one of my thorns in the side, but it's a good thing. Another 8 or 9 briskets.
You shouldn't be so good at it then.
We started the show talking about you too, so you have to watch the video and see it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a long night, but it was well worth it.
It looked it.
Yeah,
the thing was beautiful. Hey, where do you find the other brisket that you had posted in the VIP chat? And if you're not a fan of the VIP chat, you should. Like, who's that dude? And how could he ever be selling himself as knowing how to grill anything? Like, they need to take his grilling abilities away.
Obviously he's seen my YouTube channel. He's seen me post stuff on Facebook, and I guess he felt like he was going to emulate me, with the music in the background and the whole nine.
Oh, it's that same guy?
Same guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so he's your fanboy.
Yeah.
Let's give him a shout out. What's his name?
Stan.
No,
Stan. That's funny because that's from Eminem. What's his name?
I think it's Michael.
I write you, you still ain't calling.
But he bought my sauce. He takes pictures with my rubs and all that stuff, and that's fine. But my whole thing is, if you're gonna do that, I feel like you should do it correctly. And I
think we all have that same sentiment that you need to do it correctly.
And I've given him some tips, and obviously, maybe he doesn't think I know what I'm doing. I don't know.
You don't know what you're doing?
I don't think he trusts because I've given him some advice.
He may be a real racist then, because you are like the best cook I know. And, the only reason why I could see he could possibly take that had to be something nefarious.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, hey, so continue.
So sorry. He, shouted me out, and I was like, oof, I don't understand that, So for me,
he shouted you out on the brisket.
On some other stuff as well, for the
he connected you to that brisket.
No. I made sure I wasn't tagged or nothing like
Boy,
that.
that's a remove and block.
Yeah, it is.
No, but exactly, that's where my concern was.
That's where
And
you
I don't
get a shirt that says, "I blocked him and lost his phone number forever."
You're getting into restraining order territory there too.
Yeah,
that's stalker right there.
The lines.
What really got me is I didn't get a picture of it, but he had took a brisket and he called himself trimming it, and the thing was stripped naked. It was all red meat, and if anybody knows a brisket, you need to have some fat on it.
Yeah, that's what keeps the juices in, and also you get that crust on the outside is what you want.
Exactly. And I don't know what he did. I don't know he cooked it with a flamethrower or whatnot, but it was just wild because a brisket, when it's done right, it should have a nice brown bark to it, but it should have a little jiggle because you still have some of that rendered fat down into it. And then of course wrapping it and the whole nine. So you guys kind of got to see it from start to finish. And it was really in response to his video and to his picture.
I would have absolutely tagged him in that when I posted it.
Well, he saw him because he asked me about something. So he's seen the videos. But I mean, when I started brisket, it stressed me out.
All he wants is a signed autograph starter hat. Why don't you do that before he drives off a bridge someplace with his girlfriend in the back?
Listen, Slim Shady.
After a fifth of vodka.
No.
I feel like you need to help this guy. You need to reach out, because if he's going to keep tagging you, he's going to start making you look bad, by association. Listen. And that's what you're afraid of, right? That's why it's like Cafe 305. Look at this tire I set on fire. I'm calling it a brisket. It's a little
crazy, but it made me cringe. But in any case, I love what we're talking about tonight. As far as a daily sipper goes, I don't think.
And you're a true expert.
Yeah.
It's literally how we open the show. Speaking of
aspire to be Billy.
Yeah.
I do not aspire. I aspire to be able to cook like Billy, but I don't want to start my day off with a cigar and a bourbon at 7:30 in the morning.
If you think that's something, just wait till next Saturday. You're gonna just be like, I can't do this with this guy. When you see next Saturday morning, you're gonna be like, I can't. I just can't. I promise.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm like that all the time when you post stuff.
What's that?
I said I'm like that with a lot of stuff you post. I'm like, I just can't.
Hey, Billy, how did you like that 601, man?
That 601 was absolutely marvelous.
One of my favorites.
It was marvelous. I was sitting out last night when I had it, watching the smoker, and I was like, oh geez, this is
Shout out to Eric Espinosa.
Yeah.
Espinosa Cigars.
That was it. So for me, when I decide I'm gonna have a drink, it's what do I feel like today? And especially as of late, I've been going through all my open stuff. So for me, not saying I got it like that, but price point doesn't stop me from having a sip or something. I may have something on the higher scale based on, if there's an event or if I'm celebrating something, absolutely, but if I feel like I want to have a drink of it every day, then I will. But I'm actually quite enjoying having different stuff going through my bottles that I haven't had in a while. It's like, man, I forgot how much I enjoyed this. Like tomorrow, I got Jefferson sitting up there that I know I'm gonna have tomorrow.
And sometimes when you've let the bottle breathe as well, it improves. And when you go back.
So do you lay the bottle out
months,
with your underwear in the mornings?
No, I match my underwear to the bottle.
Yeah,
bottle.
That just got
chosen first. Yeah. But listen,
they're clean or not, you just put them on.
Yeah.
Stand up in the corner.
It's gonna smell like barbecue in a couple hours anyway, so it don't matter.
That's just not true. That is not true.
So, but no, I just really, again, I find seeing everything that I have open, I go back and enjoy it. And when it comes to a price point, I feel like if I really want it, I'll pay it. So if the bottle costs me $80, okay. One of my favorite pours is the Belvini. and it's $80 everywhere you go. You know, unless there's just somebody who has no idea what they have, it's $80. And like David was saying, it pours by itself. You're like, whoa, what happened? You know, and before you know it, the bottle's gone. So, and believe it or not, there's days when I actually don't even have a drink.
No.
Yeah, it happens.
You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's few and far in between, but it does happen.
I'm kind of right there with you, Billy, so don't feel bad.
Yeah.
And when I get off work, I'm like, I'm definitely pouring something tonight.
Well, and I've had days like that where I get off work and I'm like, or I'm midway through talking to a student. I'm like, yeah. So, uh-huh.
Is it blowing on your coffee?
No, I just do like, I'm like this. Go ahead. So tell me about your problems. You can't do math. I got you.
What you need to do is you need to get a cup and get, the string on the tea bag and just sellotape it to the inside of the cup. So the string's hanging over.
No, they need to
tea bag. Got a tea bag.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right.
We'll just hang the string over.
So Rob, what about you there? And by the way, I love that shirt. That is a awesome shirt. Yeah. That came from 1776, right?
Yes, it did.
Veteran organization. I've emailed them. We've had some discussion about putting our logo on the back of that shirt in replace of the 1776 they have on the back of it. But it would still have their branding on it as well. But we've got a discussion going on, so we'll see where it goes.
Cool.
Very nice. So for me, and mostly I will have at least a drink a night, especially as I'm on the road in a hotel room by myself. You know, rough day at the accounts wherever I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's kind of whatever I take on the road with me. I kind of look through my bottles and say, okay, that one's open. I want to knock that one down, kind of like Billy. But for me, the availability and living close to or being in Ohio a lot, I would say if I had to choose or one that I keep as a daily sipper or the daily drinker, it's going to be the Weller Special Reserve, because I can get it pretty much anytime I'm in Ohio, and it's $22.99 a bottle. You know, I'm looking at my shelf right now. I've got five bottles of Special Reserve, 1/2 of 1.75. I mean, that was a gift, but but still, it's inexpensive, and I can sit down and drink it every day.
Yeah, that brings up an interesting aspect, because I personally am not a big fan of the Special Reserve. That's just my opinion. But I love the 107, the 12-year, and the full proof. I think all of them are fantastic. But a lot of people, and when I say that, the reason why I said that is a lot of people absolutely dog on Basil Hayden all day long, every day on the big three bourbon pages. And I'll be honest with you, it is a low proof. I agree, but it is a fantastic. I think if you were out someplace or you're not trying to get sloshed or whatever, you're just trying to have just something to cut the edge, or mid-student call, you're like,
it's funny you say that about Basil, because that's usually if I know someone who's not a hard liquor drinker and they're kind of interested, wanting to kind of find an entry point, I usually turn them to Basil Hayden. I actually haven't had Basil in a long time. But that used to be one of my absolute favorites. I used to always have a bottle on hand. I still
remember
have
when we first started doing this. Yeah, when we first started doing this, David, you
I think that was my first. Not my first, but the last one I had purchased was right about when we started doing this.
Which also is an interesting point. This is episode 94, by the way.
Wow. Nice. So what you're saying is I've drank a lot since we started the show.
There has been some consumption of bourbon.
I think I had one bottle of bourbon when we first started.
Right.
Well, I already know that's not true, but you didn't have your shed when we started.
I did.
Well, you didn't have it built out like this.
It wasn't finished.
No, it wasn't like this. No, there was one shelf at the back, and that was pretty much it.
Now that would be my office. I would literally put my computer in there, and that would be where I'd hang out and talk to students. They're like, So is that a make, like, is that some type of, like computer type background? I'll be like, yes.
Yeah,
it
that's
and this is my
virtual.
hand.
Because I'm pretending I'm at a bar in my backyard right now. I'm just pretending. It's pretend.
And really and truly, I don't think it's really fair to call it a shed, because if you were just looking at it, you would swear like you were sitting in a pub all day. It's like, does he own the joint or what?
Strangely enough, he does.
Yeah,
it's like one of those little mini corner pub type situations where there's like enough room for like 5 people in there or something like that.
Yeah,
I think it's freaking awesome. But anyway, hey Mark, so if you had to have a daily drinker, I actually think I know which one you're going to pick, but I'm gonna see if you say it. But because I have a feeling, I think it's gonna be Uncle Nearest. To be honest with you, that's what I think.
No, if I were to do it daily, it's kind of hard for me because I like variety.
I think you would go a rum if you were going to go daily.
If I did daily, probably would be a rum. Well,
like a Foursquare or something.
Bourbon, bourbon. It sounds like a rap song.
Yeah, you may do some.
But in terms of bourbon,
no,
I would probably do. It would probably be one of the Buffalo Trace, Elmer T. Lee. But again, accessibility makes this hard.
Yes, it's very hard to find.
This is the last of allocated that I have that I didn't have a backup before I opened. And I'm mad because I don't have another one, and I missed one last week by about 4 minutes.
Yeah, but you also picked up something pretty good last week.
Oh yeah, talk about that. Yeah, Eagle Rare would be another. Definitely Eagle Rare.
You can get it, sure.
Yeah, and honestly, I could easily do 107.
Yeah. But also too, if your daily is something that you really enjoy, I think you don't get a chance to savor it as much. Like you said, an Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare is always good. But if you had Eagle Rare every day, at some point, I think you might lose that enjoyment of it.
Possibly.
So I think that's why I like having the different stuff. It's like, I had the Russell's Reserve on the other show, and I was like, man, why is this bottle not empty?
I almost picked up one the other day at the exchange on my last day in the military. Went by the exchange. And I ended up not buying any bourbon whatsoever or buying anything. I can always go back. I still have a card. But I almost bought myself some Russell Reserve 10-year, because they had the Russell Reserve 10-year there. And I know that that's fantastic. But I just didn't pull the trigger on it. The biggest reason is, and this sounds less than humble, and I don't mean for it to sound that way, I have way too much bourbon at this house. And I need to drop the collection down a little bit. And I wouldn't call it a collection, because you guys know me. I have bottles that are open, and I love to share my bourbon with people. The unfortunate thing is, who am I going to share it with? There's I can't invite any friends over right now because of the whole COVID nonsense, except for when Dave comes out.
Yep.
Yeah. But
I'm vaccinated. I'm vaccinated, guys.
That's okay, because he's really not your friend. So
that's right. That's true.
It doesn't count.
You can't have any friends over, but I come by.
But you can go.
He's like an STD. Anyhow.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Did you just make yourself the clap?
He got the golf clap in.
Oh, man.
All right, so Mal.
Poseidon is the itch you can't scratch. Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Again,
got an itchy.
right,
Wait a minute, we've got to really savor that real quick. That was hilarious. Poseidon is the itch you can't scratch.
I'll get my gift to you.
But I can't. I wish I could do it in an English voice like you said it, because that's hilarious.
So, like David, same as Long Branch. Wild Turkey, big fan.
That's the itch you can scratch.
That's the itch you can, and I've been scratching the out of it. Yeah, I mean, that is the Long Branch is one of those bottles that I just cannot be without in the bar. It's one of those ones that as soon as I finish it, I've got to replace it for the same reason. Price point is right there. It's a wild turkey, and I'm a real fan of.
I am too. I'm a fanboy of Russell altogether.
The philosophy.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Their marketing is on point too, man.
Dude,
when you brought probably the coolest man on earth to
all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I like about high school girls? I get older and they all stay the same age.
Hey, listen, one of his favorite
that's the intro for the next show.
Yeah, seriously, that's for the gag reel.
Yeah.
I think my favorite movie with him is the Lincoln
Lawyer.
Lawyer.
Court of Law. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, Lincoln Lawyer.
The Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah,
I think that's one of my favorite movies with him.
Dude, that is a great movie.
Yeah,
that is a great movie.
I've actually not seen that one.
Oh my God, you need to see it because
I know.
Yeah. You need to see it because it follows your philosophy. Not to get political, but it's definitely more left leaning. Or I should say liberal leaning, because I would not classify you as a person on the left. I'd classify you as a classical liberalist, to be honest with you. But that's beside the point, and I don't want to talk about politics.
That's fine. Yeah.
So, but anyway, go ahead.
I do like McConaughey a lot.
Yeah, I mean, again, with the caramel, the oak, the citrus, the mesquite finish, it just gives it that little bit of
love the mesquite
difference to the standard stock of the wild turkey, but you know that it's come from the same lineage. But that mesquite in the finish is just spectacular. And like we say, the price point, awesome. If I had to pick another one, my only other bottle of this particular, I think it's actually in the house, which is standard Woodford Reserve.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I came real close to doing that tonight.
The reason my bottle of Woodford Reserve is in the house is because it's gonna sound like I've got a real problem here, but just so it's on hand for when I finish work.
You don't have to walk outside to your bar.
I don't have to walk. I don't have to leave the house.
If there's bad weather,
Well, yeah,
it's England. That's like what 300 days out of a year over there, right?
Absolutely. 305 maybe.
Yeah, right.
I got a question for you guys who like Long Branch. I like it as well. But it is something to have on stock here in my bar downstairs. Of course, I'm in my office tonight. But I noticed that I try different experiments out when I'm a lot like Billy and Mark has said, and even Rob. I kind of like to have a variety. It's rare that I'll have the exact same drink twice, unless I'm at a bar or tonight. I'm having just Blanton's tonight, and I'm pouring not even an ounce each time neat, because it's a nice little comfortable, you can keep it going type of thing. Mm-hmm. But I can't follow Long Branch up with anything else. If I'm going to drink Long Branch, I have to stay on Long Branch. Here's the reason why. I've noticed that certain alcohols, certain bourbons, if the blend, I'm presuming inside your body after consumption, will cause me to have a headache or a bad aftertaste or something like that. I stay away from it. And now I love Long Branch, but it's one of those like hockey games on. That's the only thing I'm gonna drink if I'm gonna drink. If I'm gonna have Long Branch, it's gonna be the only thing I'm gonna have for all three periods. So
either a wheater. Yeah, I was going to say, if you're going to follow it up with anything, either a wheater or something like hazmat.
A wheater
style.
Would be good. I didn't think about that.
Either a wheater or something like hazmat strength.
You think so?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Just to burn it off.
Well, see, another one that does it for me too is foolproof. If I'm gonna have foolproof 1792, it's got to be foolproof 1792 the entire time. If I not mix it, but if I switch up, I notice that I potentially have a headache or have that bad aftertaste after a while, stuff like that. So,
taste wise, I would go from this to like private select makers. Or
by the way, Mark, that private select that you didn't send to me, but it arrived and it had your address on it. Oh my God, that is fantastic. That was one of those ones, like Billy had said the other day, you have to slap yourself and put it away. Like it has the perfect proof. It's 109.8, I think. And it's a perfect proof. And you find yourself going, just two more glasses.
It's Moorish.
And you're like, you're like, oh my God, this one, I don't want to drink it all because I mean, I'm probably the only person in Tennessee that has a private select Maker's Mark from California's Total Wine.
Mhm.
And so I just don't want to, but man, that is on point, and it has a perfect heat to it. It's, in my opinion, it reminds me a lot of the 2020 that they made this year. It's like they did a perfect, like their 2020 they did this year is the best 2020, or
they're doing everything right at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and their marketing has been on point too. What's that, Mark?
Yeah.
Maker's Mark, they seem to come out of nowhere in 2020.
Yeah.
Yes, like everybody else
They're doing
sucking
everything right.
They're freaking. Oh, I shouldn't say sucking, but they have been on point. Yeah, that
I had
2020.
not given them
doing
a
everything
second
right.
look in such a long time. And
You
this
go back-
last year, I was like, wait, hold on. Like, there's all this stuff out there by them.
Yeah, you go back 2 or 3 years, and I mean, Maker's Mark 46 was good, but the rest was like, oh, it was okay. But
So I've never really
46
liked
is
that.
decent.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
it's
say.
not- it
That's
doesn't
exactly
really
the way I
stand
describe it.
out,
It's
you know?
decent. Like I would
But
expect
that's
it
right.
at a
And the
bar,
others-
but
Yeah.
the others to me were 46 is okay, and the rest are but Maker's Mark right now. Whew,
That
man.
private selection. I mean, and I've really started. So I picked up the three of the 6 different kinds in Ohio.
right.
And I got the SE4 PR5.
Yeah, the 2020. That's freaking
2020.
fantastic.
And actually,
That's the one.
Yep.
Yep, I got that one.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was in Virginia had a private selection pick. So I picked one up there on Friday, and it was like 5 staves of the American charred oak that they put in that one. That one's sitting on the shelf. I haven't cracked that one yet. But like I'm looking right now, and I've got like 5 bottles of different makers sitting on the back bar right now.
Yeah.
And I think for a while, what Maker's Mark did, they were just that one thing that you had to have in your bar. You know, it's like if you went to an average hotel and you went downstairs, everybody
had
had
makers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you knew nothing about whiskeys or bourbons, Maker's Mark was here you go. Everybody has it. You know, people thought it was cool.
Makers in Woodford.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is over here, dude.
Yeah. Well, Woodford, in my opinion, is it has a safe price point no matter where you go. It tastes the same no matter where you go. And if you're a person that wants to mix it, it's a great mixer, definitely for summertime bourbon drinks. And if you go to a restaurant and they have that, you don't feel like you're stepping down by having Woodford. That's my opinion. Now, Makers, I will be perfectly honest with you. I don't think anyone in the bourbon world has had a better year than Maker's Mark with their selections and their marketing campaign and stuff of that nature. And then ultimately what they provided, dude, they provided some good stuff this year.
They backed it up. Yeah.
Oh, you got your ambassador card.
Yeah.
So they backed it up with good quality bourbon and good quality selections that were put out there. So I'm pretty happy with what they did so far in the market this year. And to be honest with you, the 101, that would make a perfect daily sipper 2020 Absolutely. And on.
I'm gonna have to go back to that liquor store that I found in Murfreesboro and clean them out, because at $39
for the 101.
I really ought to for the 101. That's when I picked up and I was like, wait, they're really selling this at this price? Because all their other prices were bad, if I'm being honest, of anything of notoriety. But I was like, they don't know what they have here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get one. I might go back tomorrow and just clean them out if they have it, because it was so nice, the 101, and I really got to go in and try to find some of these other expressions and store picks and everything else that they got going on, because it's some good stuff. It really is.
Yeah, right now I don't pass a Maker's Mark store pick, private select, or if I find another 2020 that's out there, I'll pick it up. Now that's going to be very hard to find, because I would imagine because allocation was low on it. I think there was only roughly 100,000 bottles put out in the United States.
What of the SE4?
Yeah.
PS4?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a limited production.
Yeah, it was a limited production on it.
Oh, see, guys, you're talking about it now. I'm gonna have to have another pour.
Mhm.
So if you guys stumble upon a Tennessee pick,
I'd hook you up, bro. If I come across, actually, I do know where one's at. I just don't know if they have any more. Okay. Because and I reached out to him already. I sent him an email the other day. Was Don? Actually, I sent him a Facebook message pick. But
there you go, man. Look at it.
Dangerously low.
Dangerous for days. Look at it.
But Don had a store pick out there in Fairview, and that I should have bought it. I didn't. And the only reason why I don't know why I didn't. I was there. There's that day I was doing the tasting with Jay, and he had already ruined my palate with the Jack Daniel's barrel pick that he had. So I was not happy, and I just wanted to go eat. So.
But you know something else I think Maker Mark has done that I haven't really seen anybody else do. They've educated the consumer.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You know?
Well, that's not true. Angel's Envy's done that this year as well. They've in the vast of COVID, they've still put out their reps that have been out there, still with their mask on, educating and letting them know. And I mean, by the way, Angel's Envy is a great bottle of bourbon. Mm-hmm. And they have a lot of different expressions. Like they have the high wheat one, they have high rye, they have the Caribbean rum, which I have downstairs. Now, price point of that's a little bit higher. It's like a little bit higher, yeah. It's like $100, $109, something like that.
I love the.
I wanted that so bad, and I saw the price point.
One. Oh,
well, you can next time you're at my house, you can have some downstairs at the bar.
I appreciate that as always.
Yeah, and their 2020 special one that comes in the wooden box, the Angel Envy. Mm-hmm. It was $200 for it.
Yeah. I remember, Jody, you used to be on a real Angel's Envy kick. Well,
I'll tell you why. I thought, in my opinion, the Angel's Envy, it is. It is. Angel's Envy is in my opinion, a nice substitute for those who can't find Blanton's. That's the reason why I was on it. It has a similar proof on it. Similar price point if you find just regular Angel's Envy and you find regular Blanton's, at MSRP. So you have, in my opinion, you have something that's very comparable. They have a lot of the same tasting notes, in my opinion. And so for me, I was on a huge Angel's Envy kick for a little while, but it was only because my collection of Blanton's was down at that point. So if I'm down to 3 bottles, I
remember that because you'd be. I was like, it's like, oh hey, you want to come by for whatever it was? I think it was before we were doing the show. Like, just come by and just hang out or whatever. And I was like, hey, you want me to bring a bottle? And you're like, you can bring Angel's Envy. Yeah. You can bring. I was like, I got you. We can go bring some Angel's Envy. Yeah. So
it's.
I've only ever had the port finish one, the port cast, and I love that. Absolutely love that.
I don't know that I've had the port cast. But I will tell you, that another company that did well in 2019. I'm curious how they're doing now because they have not advertised as much. Like I wouldn't even say Maker's Mark is advertised as much, but oh my God, we're back to that again. Can we not just?
He looks like.
Hold on. Who did he do?
Is this Is this CSI? Like, is he examining the smoldering corpse of somebody? They tried to hide the DNA of the victim. I don't know. On here, he's like, we're still gonna get some DNA out of this thing. We're gonna find out who the killer was.
And I hate to interrupt the show with this, so we're not gonna keep it on long. But like I was saying, it's just I don't know if you guys saw it, but he just.
They're smoking. The ribs are smoking.
Yeah, Rob, ribs are not supposed to do that. The last time you and I checked.
Pass the ribs and ashtray. Pass the ribs and ashtray, please.
Well, and now he's gonna exacerbate it by putting
again
it in
with the foil. Yeah, again with the foil, man.
Which means it's gonna cook, and he's putting the shiny side on the food. Oh, Jesus Christ!
He's gonna spray it down.
He's gonna. That's
okay. Well, we're a bourbon show, so Billy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I just, what? It's okay. People get upset about certain things. It's all right. We're not talking politics. We're talking cooking meat. Gentlemen, he can soapbox a little bit. I think it's allowable.
One thing I do want to talk about, not tonight, but at some point, is I know that you make a fantastic brisket. I prefer brisket in a slow cooker, and I'm telling you, it is fantastic when you do it that way. It cooked. Now, don't get me wrong; it takes a long time. You've had it at my house, Dave, and it
was fantastic.
It got molested within like a matter of time. It was gone. All of it.
Yeah, it didn't survive the first.
No, it did not. There was no leftovers. Nobody's taking anything home.
Yeah.
So, I prefer it that way. I also prefer to put my ribs in a slow cooker, and then I'll take them out right before they're probably done. Put them in the oven, make them tacky and stuff. That's the way I prefer to do them. But now I don't wrap them in aluminum foil or anything like that. So enough said about that. Let's go back to bourbon.
Yes.
But we do need to have off the, maybe a VIP chat about the slow cooker, because I love using the slow cooker.
Yeah, I mean, Bill, and really, I mean, VIP chat. If you're not in it and you want to be part of it, please join in. I'm just throwing that out there.
I mean, we're saving dogs.
We're
cooking meals, and we're making bourbon deals happen all over the world.
For real.
But that's not true. All over the United States.
Well,
can't hook up Mal at all.
Well, yeah, that's true. Not too much.
Mal celebrates our victories with us when we kicked the British out of because he's a tax person. So when we kicked the British out because of whom they are,
he's going to do that.
Well, not to say anything, but Mal, I am going to send you some olive oil with your sauce. Since the olive oil fits in the same bottle,
awesome.
Hopefully it shouldn't be much of a problem, but. We're gonna make sure.
Yeah.
That would be incredible.
The olive oil will mix very well with the barbecue sauce.
Fabulous, man. Oh, yeah. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And I will post a better video than ass rub or whatever.
Ass rub.
That's hilarious.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so we're approximately about 10 minutes done with or 10 minutes remaining in our little show tonight. And as always, it's always a ton of fun with you guys. We're not going to have an after show tonight because I got things I got to do with a busy day tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get most of the editing done tonight. But let's do a rapid fire real quick. I was thinking about this the other day. So if I gave you $50, all right, I'm like, I need you to go buy something. Now, granted, this is going to be location dependent, so some of our answers won't match MSRP and stuff of that nature. But if I give you $50, and I don't know if that would even clear anything in England, but if I need to step it up to 60, let me know. But if I gave you $50, and you could buy one thing from the liquor store, your local place where you have hookups, David, what are you going to get?
Zaffer 21.
What's that?
Zaffer 21.
Zaffer 21.
It's and if you guys have never had it, I feel bad. If you want to find a bottle, I can maybe help, kind of thing, because we do know one place.
By the way, that place is called Parkway Wines and
Spirit in Spring Hill, Tennessee. And I swear, for the money, next probably next Sunday, because it won't be on Wednesday. Sunday, I want to do a side by side with the Mount Gay XO and the Zaffer 21. I'm going to decide which one I like better. Haven't opened the Mount Gay yet, so I don't know. I genuinely have no idea what it tastes like. So that's going to be a fun adventure for me. But
are you going to do it blind? Do it blind.
How am I going to do it blind?
They're very different.
If I'm setting it up.
Yeah, they're very different. The only way you could do that is if you came over to my house. I have both.
If you get someone to set it up, but you've got the black Norlands, David, so you can mask the colors.
That's true. Maybe I'll do that. I'll bring the New Orleans to your place, Joe. We'll figure it out. We'll work something out. But anyway, like for the money, like I don't know anybody I've let try that who didn't absolutely love it. So like it is an absolute crowd pleaser. And like I tell people, like I shouldn't even, because I don't find it everywhere. I was like,
one of the big fans of our show, Brad. I sent him home with a bottle. He really enjoyed it. So
well, cool, awesome. So yeah, Zaffer 21, hands down, done.
Rob, same question.
It's either going to be the foolproof 1792 or the A107. I can get both right at $49.99.
Nice. I like it. Mal.
for about 40-ish pounds. I'm heading straight to Tynemouth Wine Chambers, and I'm picking up something along the lines of a bottle of Eagle Rare, or if I have to, if my hand is forced and I need to use Amazon, it will be either Eagle Rare or Long Branch for that price. Right. But limited availability, etc., etc. I just can't go to a shop. My shop has Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, and I don't want to walk out with 3 bottles. So I want something decent.
I don't know that I drink if I live there. Mark.
Drink more beer.
If I'm in Georgia, it would be Heaven Hill VIB, which I could get in Georgia right about 48.
Is that the 7-year blue bottle?
7-year, yeah, the blue. Here, depending on time of year, probably would be Eagle Rare. And if I get at the right price, I'd also get a bottle of the Angostura 7 rum. I get both for 50.
The what now? The what rum?
Angostura.
Yeah.
Angostura. Oh, okay.
The 7. That's Trinidadian rum. I told you I'm partial to Trinidad.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Never tried that. I've seen that a few times.
Yeah.
I have seen it. Bobby has it down at his store. I have to go pick up some.
I just thought Bullet would be an option for me as well.
Bullet, okay.
Billy. Bullet would be an option.
For me, I'm right there with Mark. I would definitely have to say it would be the Heaven Hill B&B 7-year blue label.
By the way, I'm running low on that. Wink.
Definitely. Jody has to be the worst for flirting with people. What happened? Somebody punch you in the eye? Or what?
He's been married for 100 years.
He flirts like Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, you're not supposed.
There's literally. I'm
just putting it out there. If you don't like it, send it right back.
In this world, but
I want to be on you.
No, it would definitely be that. And for me, and I might be a little different from most people, but for $50, I'd pick up me another bottle of Michter's.
Michter's is solid.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I love the Michter's rye.
Yeah, and you can get it right around $50, 45 even at Total Wines. It was like 40, 45. So yeah.
I can get it for about £50, and if it was £50 rather than $50, I would probably go Michter's rye. To be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Can argue with you.
If for me, so it's the challenge is what can you get for $50 here that you go, that's gonna knock my socks off, something I'm gonna want every time. Now I will tell you, I always pay right around $50 for Mount Gay. So for rum, it's gonna be that each and every time. That's what I'm gonna buy. I think what I love about Mount Gay is the barrel taste. It tastes, to me, it tastes like a bourbon. It really does. And you're gonna when you were talking about it's after 21, you're gonna be able to, if you were to do a blind test, you're like, yeah, this is Mount Gay, this is after 21. I mean, it's that easy.
Sure.
Like they're
very distinct. Yeah, there is, and I think a lot of people who don't drink a lot of rum don't really appreciate, because like most people who are really just getting into rums are like, oh, not everything is Captain Morgan, like, or Kraken or Sailor Jerry spice rum bullshit.
Hey, come on, everybody loves sailors.
Or what?
Yes, watch them out.
Not Sailor Jerry. I'm just saying.
Used to,
but
they changed the recipe.
But anyway, when people get away from spice rum and they learn a thing that is dark rum, Caribbean rum, South American rums, and you go, oh, there's a whole big world out here that we don't see very much of in Tennessee, especially, to be honest with you. We don't see all that much of it because
Bumbu rum is good.
Bumbu is okay. I've had the 12-year.
It tastes like banana pudding. No. I have to watch it.
Bumbu's all right. There's a Bumbu that's like a liqueur, which is like their baseline, and then they have one that is a full liquor. I can't remember the name of it.
And it tastes like freaking banana pudding.
That's what it is. Yeah, the XO. Yeah, and it's not bad. I mean, you get a lot of banana flavors in rums sometimes. Mm-hmm. I enjoy that personally.
I do too.
Like Baku, I think, which I brought on the show once. And I had the 12-year of that, which I was thinking of. Don't ever have more than 2 drinks of that. You will have an awful headache. Like, it's just way overdosed. Like, and I can't, I can drink, like, but if I have more than 2 of those, I know I'm going to regret it no matter what.
Wow.
I've had lots of experimentation with, like, make sure I had enough to eat before, enough, hydration, this and that. It's just, there's just too much sugar. You're going to have a headache if you have more than 2 of those, guys. Give it a pass. But yeah, Bumba's honestly better. And like, there's just better things out there. Like I said, Diplomatico is really nice. There's States are nice. Pilar. There's lots of good rums out there. But like
Appleton Estate, I've got a soft spot for Appleton Estate.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a real soft spot for that.
So back to me.
Yes.
As always.
Of course. Sorry.
As always.
I hadn't finished. So if I was going to bourbons, and that's where it becomes tricky because those can literally in Tennessee change from store to store price points. Like I can get Blanton's pretty much at MSRP each and every time. So would that fall within it? Sure. But I want to try to be pragmatic and real with it. So I would probably go with Long Branch would be one that I would absolutely do and have a little bit of funds left over. Another one would be any of the Maker's Mark that are around that price point, and then probably Backbone because of the proof on Backbone. Backbone's I think $49.99, something like that, and the proof, generally speaking, is somewhere between 114 and literally 147. You can find yourself somewhere there, and I like a higher proof. So.
I was definitely born on the wrong side of the pond, dude. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Well, you're a tax guy, so we purposely kicked you out of our country.
So
preemptively, yeah. I think the highest I've had of like regular, and again, it goes back to rum, that the Plantation overclocked. It was like 135 proof or something like that. I could barely stand that crap. Like it was like. Everclear or something like that. It was just it was just pure burn. I felt like a teenager all over again. It was just way too much. I can't imagine.
What's your smoke wagon uncut unfiltered, dude?
It was 114, I think.
114, was it?
I think that's the uncut. You're right. Is that right, Mark? Because you would know better than me. I don't have it in front of me.
I think it is 114 because we did the math on it the other day.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you carry the one.
Yeah. And I've had like absinthe and things that are like, in the like the 120 range. Like
my own cut on front is 138.
Wow. Yours is 138?
Yeah.
The highest thing I have in my house. Highest I have in my house right now is a Stag 2020, which is 138.5. Now I have other things like the Manolings and stuff like that are 127, 137. But I have nothing over 138.5. My Stags are the highest I have. Stag Juniors are always pretty high. I have this
is 130.2.
Yeah, I was going to say I have that's last year's. I have 130.2 as well, and then I have this year's. They have 2 different batches, I believe, and I have I'm not sure but it's also in the 135-ish.
130.3.
Wow, that's high because my
that is high.
My highest straight from the barrel is it's 128.8.
Yeah, that 130.3, and it's as smooth as a snail's lips, dude. Honestly, it's beautiful stuff. Love it.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, let's call it a night. Always love hanging out with you guys. We always have a great time, and I truly appreciate it. This is very humbling for me because it was something that me and David and Mao actually created and said, hey, look, let's do this. And then we brought on, Billy, Rob, and Mark and so on. And we made this kind of our little niche. And it's a great way to hang out and have fun with friends and other enthusiasts. Probably the biggest thing from it is not only the friendship and the networking, is the networking, is what we've been able to express. Like, I've talked about it 1,000 times and I'll say it again. This has been the best season for me ever in 2020. Think about that. In 2020, best bourbon season ever was this year. And I didn't really go hunting all that much. I really didn't. I actually spent my time really hunting like wild animals in the woods. So
2020 was the best season for me, purely educationally.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And that has come primarily from this group and from obviously the British Bourbon Society, there's the other group, but primarily you guys. I mean, we've discovered that we've got very, very similar palates, comparable palates. Let's put it that way. But
it's not true. You like Jack Daniels. It's garbage.
He has to be contrary. He won't. He
like
won't.
Sinatra.
He'll evaporate if he doesn't say something contrary.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
so, okay. Aside from all the smoke blowing, thanks guys. You've kept me going.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for real though,
I would definitely agree with that. It's been a fabulous year, and even if the bourbon is absolutely one of the better parts of it, but just the wealth of knowledge that we've gotten from each other.
Yeah.
But not even concerning bourbon. We don't get into politics here, but we talk about our differences, our stances, our beliefs, and just to get to see how we all feel from a different perspective. So it gives something that I don't think you could buy. I don't even know if it's something you could teach, because when we've all given our different experiences or opinions, everybody's been professional enough to shut up and listen. So
the bourbon has brought us together, but the bourbon knowledge is secondary. The friendship, the connection is right there. Yeah, and I will drink with that, sir.
All right,
so
guys.
On that note, gentlemen, be good to yourselves.
Hey,
peace out.
Cheers.
Cheers.